cheeky dogs, my name's Margie and I'm an Aussie currently living in America. Today we're going to be doing our breakdown of the Bluey Season 3 episode Bedroom. I'm so excited to share with you guys all of the new details I found in this episode, as well as the hints towards, whether or not there is going to be a third healer baby in the future. So I'm going to break down all of the Easter eggs first, all the Aussie references, all the little details that maybe you might have missed in this episode, and then we'll have a chat about the extra healer baby idea. Of course, if you're new to my channel as well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, as well as that bell for notifications. I love doing Bluey content, I love doing all the Easter egg videos, so if you like those as well, that bell's gonna let you know whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's just jump straight into it with our traditional Easter eggs first. Now, we do have a long dog in this episode. It's underneath the chair in Bluey's bedroom, and we do also see a tennis ball. It is underneath where Bluey's bed used to be, and this is also the same tennis ball from the episode Magic Xylophone. And I think that's also another really cool Easter egg, is the fact that all the stuff underneath Bluey's bed is still there from Season 1, Episode 1 as well. So we've got all the same stuff that was there from Magic Xylophone, but also we have the Viking helmet, which is from Bad Mood. And we do also have a few other references to previous episodes as well, such as the bike from the episode Postman and the red wagon from the episode Wagon Ride. But guys, that's not all. I think probably the biggest Easter egg in here is just the toys in general. I've been trying to make a list of all the toys when I see them and the references of them, but this episode shows us a lot of them, and there's a lot of Studio Ghibli. For those of you who don't know, Japan, it's their version of Disney basically, but there's lots of references to those toys. So let's try and go through all the ones that I spotted out, and if you spot any other ones, please let me know in the comments down below. So we see a green smiling apple, which could also be a link to Muffin Sticker from the episode Bike. We also see a squirrel with a nut, which is obviously a reference to Ice Age. We see a fox, which could be a reference to Swiper from Dora the Explorer. There is a white wolf, which could be Moro from Princess Mononoke. There is a green dragon, which could be a reference to Pete's dragon. We have an obvious Porco Rosso pig, again from Studio Ghibli. We have a dog that looks a lot like Merlin. We have a blue car, which reminds me of Rainy from Cars. There's a frog prince, which could be honestly from anything, but maybe a Disney reference to The Princess and the Frog. There is Calcifer, which is the flame with the face on it. That is from Howl's Moving Castle, again from Studio Ghibli. We also have the big plush cat, which is the Baron, again from Studio Ghibli, from The Whisper of the Heart. We have a long caterpillar, which reminds me of the Hungry Hungry Caterpillar. There's a llama as well, which I think is a reference to Emperor's New Groove. There's also a smiling burger. I'm not sure what this is a reference to, but if you know, let me know down below. And of course, we have Lampy, which is a Himalayan salt lamp. The next big kind of Easter egg is the fact that we just have a whole new room. This episode basically takes place in this whole new room that we have just never seen before, and it's kind of like this running gag that the healer house is basically either Hogwarts or the TARDIS from Doctor Who. It is bigger on the inside. We also see that there is an air conditioning unit in this room, but nowhere else in the house has an AC unit, so I'm really interested as to why only this one room manages to have it, but every other room in the house is fans like a typical Queenslander. We also know that this is a brand new room because we can compare the picture to the previous episode of Mr. Monkey Jocks, where there was no door there, and also the picture at the end of the hallway was different. There it was a picture of the beach, but now it is a picture of the girls playing with blocks. So I don't know, maybe the healers also had a renovation at some stage and got rid of that room. Now, there are some references to Australian-based words. So the first one is bags not. So Bandit and Chili say this when they're trying to say that they don't want to go and look after the girls. So I guess the equivalent of it would be dibs not or not it. Bags not actually is a really old British word. It comes from the idea that if you taking something for yourself, you're putting it in your school bag. Bags it, you get to keep it, or bags not, you're not putting in your bag. That's the random origin of that. And the other Aussie word, of course, is that we say cot, whereas over here in America, you guys say crib. Now, speaking of baby items, Ludo Studios, of course, as always, has put in a lot of detail into the background, and there are a lot of really interesting baby items I think that we see there, such as the sleep training book that Chili is obviously holding, as well as the amber teething necklace that is very popular at the moment. We also see a car seat, a play gym, a humidifier, and baby gates as well that we actually saw in the episode Baby Race. Now, a few other little background details that maybe you might have missed, and one that I think is super sentimental, is when Bluey holds Chili's hand. And you might have missed it, because I know I did the first time round. But when Bandit comes in and asks if they're getting rid of the cot, basically, Chili gets very emotional, and straight away, Bluey goes and holds her hand, which reminded me a lot from the episode of the show when Bandit went to hold Chili's hand as well when she was quite upset. We do also see some guitars and some bongos, which I assume belong to Bandit because we know he's very musical. But something really interesting that someone on Reddit managed to point out is the fact that they're all going to bed at 5:10 in the evening. So you can see the clock on the wall downstairs, it doesn't change. It stays at 5:10 the entire time, which also could be just a running gag of maybe they haven't replaced the batteries in it. We do have some Aussie flowers that you get to see, the frangipanis, which are in the tree just outside of the girls' bedroom, as well as Malcolm the bird, and I tried to see if I could spot what type of Brisbane bird this is, because again, Bluey is really good at showing like actual real wildlife from Australia, but there are like hundreds of different brown birds that this could be. So if you know anything about birds, please let me know what Malcolm is in the comments section down below. Now, one of the best Easter eggs throughout this episode is the sticky gecko, and you can see it from the top slowly falling off the wall through different scenes until it ends up on the ground. And it's a really fun thing to sort of watch as you rewatch this episode. We do have some funny dad jokes in this, and this is sort of a running gag throughout season 3 about Bandit and being big, or his weight. So the girls refer to him as big fella. Fella, again, is very Aussie slang for men. We say Sheila for girls, fella for guys. But they also call him Big D, like Big Daddy Man. But he asked to not be called that. And we kind of see this throughout season 3 with Bandit being a bit self-conscious about his weight and his size, which I hope that they will eventually address and not just make it like a Simpsons dad kind of joke. Now, we do have 2 Easter eggs from the night scene, I guess. So the first one is when we see the moon and we see a fruit bat flying out into it. Of course, a reference to the episode Fruit Bat. But then we also see a bunch of constellations, and there seem to be very obvious ones. Now, I am not an astrologist. I can only do my best through Google. I mean, one of them kind of looks like the Big Dipper, but not really. So again, guys, if you know anything about stars, can you let me know what these constellations are? Because I'm convinced that they mean something. Now, of course, we do have the amazing references to both Granddad and Grandpa. Yes, 2 separate people that they reference both in this episode. The first time we get a reference to Granddad, which is Chili's dad, is when the girls are talking about Gloria, the stuffed animal, and how Granddad forgot that Bingo was born. And that's why only Bluey got a Christmas present and not Bingo. So maybe then as well, we could suggest that Bingo's birthday might be around Christmas, and that could possibly be why that he forgot. We then of course have our second reference to Grandpa Bob, and you know, guys, it's been a long going theory of where is Grandpa Bob? What has he been doing? We know technically that he wasn't in season 2 or part of season 3 because of COVID, the regulations around it. So I can understand that, why he wasn't in season 2. But within the Blueyverse lore, Grandpa Bob's been missing. We don't know where he is. And there is the best scene of Bingo saying, "Good night, Grandpa Bob, wherever you are." Which I think is such a huge meta joke to us as fans, being like, yes, we understand that you all want to know where Grandpa Bob is. But also maybe, I don't know, it could be a hint to Grandpa Bob perhaps passing away, or perhaps he's traveling overseas somewhere and Bingo just doesn't know where he is. I do love as well that we find out in this episode the different personality types again between Bluey and Bingo. Bluey is quite obviously a hoarder, whereas Bingo is very much a minimalist, but also maybe a bit of a people pleaser by constantly letting Bluey take all the toys or giving all the toys to her. Now, as I said, I do think that this maybe has a bit of continuity into the idea of maybe there being another healer baby. So in the first technical episode of season 3, which is perfect, it's a Father's Day special, depends whether or not Disney Plus is going to put it on with season 3A or separately, but in that episode perfect, you do hear Fido and Bandit talking about vasectomies or neutering, whatever you'd like to call it, but basically that Chili wants to keep her options open. And then in this episode, which comes straight after it, when Bandit says, "Are we going to dump the cot?" So, you know, get rid of it, you don't actually hear Chili say yes or no. She just goes, "Oh," and that's it. So, possibly, maybe Chili, again, this is another sign that she is not ready to say no to no more kids yet. Maybe they did end up keeping the cot, and maybe we will get a third little healer child eventually. And I'm assuming it would be a boy, just to try and sort of even everything out. But what do you guys think? Do you think we'll get eventually another little healer kid? For myself, out of this episode, I'd probably give it a 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was a really beautiful episode, a little emotional, a lot of amazing Easter eggs, as well as our traditional ones as well. We got to see the house expand, which is always really fun too. And just the toy Easter eggs alone are so incredible. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys would give this out of 5 long dogs. Again, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications. And if you love Bluey as much as I do, big thumbs up and hit the like button as well. And I've picked you cheeky dogs out a few other videos that maybe you would like to watch, but I will see you all in another video. Mwah! Bye!